Yes, okay. Thank you, Professor Bisbes, for this opportunity, and thanks to UNISEC Global as well as UNISEC Tunisia for this opportunity to give an overview of activity led by the Geoscience and Remote Sensing Society Tunisia chapter, GRSS Tunisia chapter. Sorry. I am professor at the Higher School of Communication of Tunis at the University of Carthage, and I am expert in artificial intelligence applied for remote sensing data. My talk today is about the GRSS pilot initiative for Tunisia and the consortium we have made here in Tunisia for capacity building in CubeSats. The content of my talk will be within three sections. The first one is about a brief overview of GRSS in Tunisia. The second section is about pilot initiative made by GRSS. And the third is about capacity building in CubeSats. I will finish my presentation by some conclusions. Then GRSS in Tunisia is active since 2013. I was the ambassador of the activity of GRSS here. We succeeded in organizing many seminars, invited distinguished lectures in different fields, and even in nanosatellites. We have organized some tutorials, invited people from Europe. The creation of the Tunisia chapter was on 2019. It was after many activities since 2013. And this was a logical continuation of the membership development. And when we got the sufficient number of members, we succeeded in launching our petition and get the creation of the GRSS. For today, until today, we are 142 active GRSS members. We were, last year it was about 259, and I think that in next month they will rejoin our society. But the particular thing here is that we have 137 students among our members, to show you the important population and the important motivation of students here through our student chapter. And mainly we have two student chapters, one in the school where I am Professor Supcom, and the other one in INAT. It was the Agronomical Institute of Tunis. Since all this motivation, I would say you can understand the help and all the efforts done by GRSS Global for Tunisia. We succeeded also in 2020 in organizing the M2GAS. It is a Mediterranean and Middle East Geoscience and Remote Sensing Symposium. It was in March 2020. It was just 2 days before the lockdown in Tunisia due to the COVID-19. And as you can see, there was many authors from the 5 continents and from many countries, even from Asia. Even that the name of the conference is Mediterranean and Middle East and North Africa. We got many participants from Latin America, from India also. And this to show you the potential of researchers, of students, and their attraction to the field of remote sensing and for science, space science engineering. All of these activities have allowed us to get the Best Chapter Excellence Award in 2029. All this effort was, I think, crowned by this award, as well as by the chair of that I am, the chair of the Tunisia chapter, got the IEEE GRSS Regional Leader Award in 2021. Then, for my second part of this presentation about pilot initiative, I will give you an overview what is pilot initiative made by GRSS and what is its relation to the nanosat, or for the theme of this virtual webinar. Pilot initiative, it's initiative that could be launched by members of GRSS through director or vice president in the administrative committee of GRSS. However, this initiative must address area of importance meriting a GRSS investment. You should argue that what you are developing is within the strategy of GRSS, and which action within the action plan of strategic action of GRSS. Then, after developing the idea, we have to look for the initiative led that must coordinate the proposal with respect to a vice president and or a director prior to submission. Just to have an idea about the administrative committee of GRSS, you have different vice president, professional activity, information resources, meeting, symposium, publication, and we have also director industrial relations, global activity, director of education, and director of governance and sector. I am the liaison of the global activity of GRSS in the MENA region and Africa region. And it is within this context that I succeeded to launch this pilot initiative. I defended the idea with the consortium made in Tunisia to get this initiative. Just three more information about the initiative is that, as I said, the initiative must be led by the chapter, by an active IEEE member that is one of the members of an active chapter. We have already the chapter in Tunisia, as I told you, in 2019, we got our chapter. The second issue is that we have submitted through a global activity of GRSS, as we are in the MENA region, also for North Africa. We are all interested within this application, because when we submitted the pilot initiative, we have to show that it is not just a local activity for Tunisia. It could be spread to our neighbor and even to the region of MENA. And the last issue is about funding. At what extent GRSS could help and could give funds. It is between $5 and $20 that we can do. Then, after this context, the idea was to develop a new strategic educational and industrial initiative in the MENA region for GRSS membership development. This was the objective within the strategy of GRSS. GRSS is looking, of course, as all the IEEE society to get more members, and this was the membership development. And with a certain color or context, which is for GRSS, it's a global industry and student engagement. We have to get more students that they will be after that engineering or even professor at university. And this could be a very good bridge with the industry and with the education and academic institution. Then the objective of our initiative was, as we have submitted, is to federate the efforts of all the GRSS chapter and ambassador in the MENA region around a collaborative project. And when we said the collaborative project, I think that all the audience and all colleagues present in this virtual meeting know the importance of federation and consolidation given by given around nanosat project development. Then this was the idea, a collaborative project that will give more commitment from students and from young professionals. This what we have developed and defended as idea, and this will be done within three, I will say, the period, for the long term, for the medium term, and for the short term. For the long term, the idea is the development of nano-satellite constellation through GRSS chapters. We have to think about a different application, and the constellation could be launched from Asia, from UAE, from Algeria, from Tunisia, and also from sub-Saharan African countries. The second objective, which is for the medium term, and this was already planned by IEEE GRSS, which is an open pocket cube kit. And this was the idea already existing before our initiative. And just a summary about the IEEE GRSS open pocket cube kit is the development of an open source kit for new coming institution to nano-satellite and space technology. Then, for the short term, this was the heart of our proposal. It is the acquisition and training of educational nano-satellite simulator. This was within an objective to develop activities and hands-on learning, I will say, around application in communication, mechanicals, electrical engineer, and also different payloads. If I give a short remember about the objective, the strategic objective of GRSS is development of, it is here, the membership development for global industry and student engagement. And what we said is that to attract students for such activity in remote sensing, we have to look for practical and hands-on work and hands-on learning. This was possible through the simulator, the educational nano-satellite. We thought that we can develop with our colleague from academic institutions some practical work around the theoretical courses. Then the third and the last section of my presentation is on how we got our project and the execution of this initiative. First of all, we have made, under the lead of the Tunisian chapter, the GRSS Tunisia chapter, a consortium of the three main components, research, academia, and also development and innovation startups and industry, I would say. For that, we involved two universities from Tunisia, the University of Carthage in north of Tunisia and the University of Monastir in the center, two departments from the University of Carthage and one department, Faculty of Science of Monastir, from the University of Monastir. As you can see, we are in the same objective of having this inclusive partnership with different actors within the field of remote sensing here in Tunisia. And of course, the Research Center of Microelectronics, as well as Sensia, which is a startup that is developing science for kids and youth. And this was particularly appreciated by the technical committee in GRSS, because we have not only thought for students and for young professionals, but also for kids from 10 to 14 years, and how we can motivate them and how we can, I said, vulgarize application and science technology. Within this context, we have a presentation that we will make for students. It will be on 2 weeks in a school in Tunis. After constituting this consortium, we have then applied for the ESAT kit with experts from GRSS about which simulator we can choose in order to make a practical course, I said, around this, and of course, that is related to space engineering. We chose it then to get a funds. It was about more than $20,000 dollars to get this ESAT kit. And what the interesting and amazing thing here is that this kit was mountable, and the students really take and enjoyed a lot of pleasure to mount the ground segment that was simulated through this table, as well as the assembling of all parts of this nanosatellite. I'm sorry, because I have not prepared the detailed technical presentation, just an informative presentation. And here you can see that we have all the basics parts that make a nanosatellite, the panel, solar panel, the ADCS, the onboard computer, the electrical power subsystem main board, and the battery management, as well as a thermal payload that is testing the variability of temperature. And this could be, of course, commanded through a network. This was the idea, and this was the important thing of the generalizability of this pilot event for regional and for neighbors, also for our neighbors. And within the same project, we succeeded within the global activity the directorate at the ATCOM to get 2 more nanosatellites for the Algeria chapter as well as for the Oman chapter. And now we are after the phase of mounting and assembling all the parts of a nanosatellite. We are working on such a network in order to get more. We have some technical issues right now, but we hope in 2 months we will get our first connection around these different nanosatellites. That's all. I will finish by some conclusion. The GRSS pilot initiative for Tunisia is one action among strategic global activities launched by GRSS for capacity building. It is a multidisciplinary GRSS initiative, and this was the heart of consolidating and federating different activity and different partners around the same project. It is a hands-on training in space engineering. It is based on a realistic satellite simulator that offers a wide variety of educational activities. A consortium of 2 universities, 1 research center, and 1 startup are piloting the initiative under the lead of the Tunisia chapter. We hope that it gives students the opportunity to experience the real performance of the different subsystems in satellite and the interaction between them. Thank you for your attention.